There's a battle brewing between Placer and Amador counties over where to place a repeat sexually violent predator. But it's an issue that affects all Californians because taxpayers will pay for his housing and supervision. How much? And how does the state plan to keep him from reoffending? Investigative reporter Julie Watts is getting answers. Julie?
Yeah, guys, according to state data, there's an increasing number of sexually violent predators living among us out on conditional release. Now, while most people don't want a sexually violent predator, or SVP as they're called, as a neighbor, the alternative can be even more concerning. And it's an issue we've been covering for more than a decade.
Do you still feel an attraction to children?
I think that there's always going to be an attraction.
You're watching a 2006 interview with sexually violent predator Timothy Boggs.
Some people will say what you had is a sickness that you cannot be cured from.
I'd say it's 100% true. The worst thing that a sex offender can say is that I'm cured. You don't want somebody to say that there is no attraction because it leads to high-risk thinking.
In this exclusive interview, we got a glimpse into the mind of a sexually violent predator. At the time, Boggs was the first to be released on so-called transient status because a judge ruled the state was taking too long to find him suitable housing. They must consider proximity to things like parks, schools, and victims. Since then, there have been other sexually violent predators released without a permanent home.
We would prefer transient status release at this time.
And William Robert Stevenson could be the next. We were allowed to record audio and take still photos at his recent hearing in Placer County.
As we all, I would say, would agree, transient release is not ideal, it's not safe, it's not appropriate for anybody involved.
It's more difficult supervision.
Placer County DA Morgan Geyer explains without a permanent residence for 24/7 monitoring, sexually violent predators may pose a greater risk.
By its very nature, a transient status means someone is going to be moving around. There are more obligations on the individual, which means there's more opportunities for failure.
But at this point, he acknowledges transient release may be the only option.
There are due process rights that a sexually violent predator has.
You see, even though Stevenson's convictions were in El Dorado County, the State Department of Hospitals housed him in Placer County when he was conditionally released the first time, before being rearrested for possession of child pornography. But this time, neither the state's contractor, Liberty Healthcare, nor a search committee could find suitable housing in Placer County or in Sacramento County, where Stevenson has family, but they did find a home in unincorporated Amador County. Not surprisingly, Amador is fighting to keep him out because neighbors there don't want a sexually violent predator next door.
We have relatives that are children.
Court records reveal Stevenson has a long history of reoffending. He began exposing himself to high school students in the early 80s. His criminal sexual behavior then escalated to assault in 1985 when he was placed on probation and received treatment for the first time. He was later convicted of 2 violent sexual assaults at a Tahoe Beach in 1990, though he estimated at trial that he'd committed about 20 sexual offenses before that. After serving about half his 31-year sentence, followed by more treatment at a state psychiatric hospital, Stevenson was granted conditional release in Roseville, where he was rearrested for possession of child pornography in 2017, sent back to prison, then back to a state hospital, and is now eligible for release again.
It's ultimately an opinion of the doctors who evaluate that person, and oftentimes we as prosecutors disagree with those assessments, and then we bring that to the court's attention and say, we disagree.
Geyer fought to keep Stevenson from being released at all this time, based on his unsuccessful history of treatment and release, but a judge granted release based on the recommendation of state doctors. The Department of State Hospitals declined our interview request, and Mr. Stevenson's attorney has not responded to our request. But our interview with Timothy Boggs shed some light on how SVPs are monitored.
There's only a certain amount of feet that I'm allowed to be away from this, and then it'll send out an alert to my supervisor.
He wore 2 GPS devices, one on his waist and another around his ankle, and went to therapy 7 days a week. SVPs on conditional release also get weekly drug screening, polygraph tests, and in the beginning are supposed to have 24/7 surveillance. And it all comes at a cost. Based on data from the Department of State Hospitals obtained through a Public Records Act request, sexually violent predators cost taxpayers 50% more once they are released from the hospital, in part because the state pays a premium for rent, which can be enticing to landlords.
You get a lot of money, and if you're not close by, it doesn't really affect you, but it does affect the neighbors that have to live in that neighborhood.
The median California rent, according to Zillow, is $2,900 a month. The average statewide rent last year for SVPs, $4,500. And taxpayers foot that rent bill, along with the costs for treatment and supervision, which is all handled by North Carolina-based Liberty Healthcare. They did not respond to our interview requests either. The state's contract with Liberty increased last year to a high of $6.4 million and is on track to be even higher this year, as the data shows more sexually violent predators are being released. The number increasing from 14 SVPs out on conditional release in June of 2021 to more than 20 as of March of this year. Stevenson would presumably make 21, though it's not clear if Boggs, who recently passed away, is included in the census data provided by the state. DSH tells us patient privacy laws prohibit DSH from even acknowledging that an individual is or ever was a DSH patient. Court records indicate Boggs was never rearrested after his release. He was chemically castrated, but he said he did understand why people still didn't trust him.
How can I look at somebody in the community and say, you're wrong, we don't need to be locked up? By the same means, I've paid for my crime, and I've done everything and more, I think, to show the community that I deserve a chance.
Now, we're still waiting for more data, hoping to shed light on why there's a growing number of SVPs out on conditional release and how often they're rearrested. The state says none have been rearrested for sexually violent crimes, but Stevenson is evidence that some do reoffend.
Eye-opening report, Julie. Thank you.